Boom! What's up, YouTube? Hey, I always want to come in with like super high energy, but I'm just not feeling it. I need another energy drink. Is that bad? Anyway, it's Second Wake, episode 29. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hi. You're very handsome and or beautiful or both for checking us out on YouTube. Appreciate you. It is episode 29. That's a lot of episodes. We are now going from episode 28. I'm going to leave it up unless you guys want me to do it. What happened last time? Who can tell me? One shiny copper coin to whoever can tell me what happened last game.
It's worth a lot to a kobold.
That's a lot to a kobold. No one's a kobold, though. Any takers for one copper coin? I'll give 10 platinum pieces if Colt can tell me what happened last time.
I'll make some shit up.
It's the most fun you can have as a DM, is just being like, oh, you missed a week. Did you check out that rebroadcast? They go, no, I didn't. You go, shit.
I started watching it, but then I had to do more training.
No. He's got to push his body to the limit. All right, fine, I'll do it. You sad sacks. All right, so last we met, we were planning, plotting, and speaking with the Baron Maximiliano de Cruz. The group went around town having gotten their new collected conquest decks. Merch not yet available, but maybe, I don't know. I made 1,000 cards, so what's good? Anyway, so collected conquest happened. They got their decks. They left the inn. They wandered around asking about what would be best to traverse the southern area of the Steamlands. Many people within town said the Steamlands are for the birds. They're super dangerous, even with a guide. My God, why would you risk it? And effectively went off to hire in Lethiel to meet the group the following day to help escort them all around the southern pass of the Middle Earth Mountains in an attempt to make the trek by foot. Then, after speaking with several other authorities within town, mostly shopkeepers and merchants of the like, they came to the conclusion that maybe traveling via foot is not the right way to do it, especially since they can't take their horses, and there apparently is a huge danger for anyone who has skin to go through the Steamlands. It just seems like a bad time. Why would you ever want to do that? After discussing it, they decided we need to think on this further before making a final decision. They have their wood elf hunting friend on retainer one way or another. And after speaking with the Baron, who apparently had a very rude day and a very bad attitude to carry into the evening discussions, they met for an early dinner and discussed with the Baron, who was jubilant in his expression and desire to, instead of allow the group the fear and danger of the southern road, he had come to like them and offered, why don't we just take my boat? We'll just take a boat in town and make it a party boat, and we can all go through the northern river that I had helped fund, and you could arrive within Lake Juniper in the inside of a few hours. And the entire time there will be drinking and parties and all these things he got really excited about as a nice break from his duties and apparent responsibilities as the Baron of Rensfork. The group decided not to make a decision, as most D&D groups don't, before speaking at it further, hoping to have the whole group to make this decision. But this is Second Wake Dungeons and Dragons, and the whole group is not always here, okay? Sometimes Colt can't be reached for comment. Sometimes Morrigan is dying from a horrible infectious bug bite that might make her a zombie. We don't know, okay? Anything could happen. It's Second Wake. You gotta tune in every episode. Every episode there could be something new. I don't know. We're gonna have streamers one of these weeks. Yeah. Maybe Morgan
zombie?
Morgan
Sounds
zombie?
Great for our group.
I mean, we'll find somebody, we'll drop $700, I'll make a rig, I'll be a VTuber, let's do it. I don't know. Sky's the limit. There we go. Push it to the moon. So, that's good water. After discussing it, and deciding it would be best and in their best interests to further discuss it among the group and take time to debate their options and go over the various modes of transportation that have availed themselves to the group. The party dismissed themselves from an early dinner and retreated back to the common rooms of their shared areas. having much to discuss and decide, and JJ speaking to the Baron, saying that later on in the evening she might be interested in a few games of collected conquest, time and patience permitting. And that is where we left off. The group, the Seekers of Gulanti, the 6 mighty heroes that hail from the Irwood, under the service of the Lady Gulanti herself, the royal noblewoman. You find yourself in the common rooms of the manor home of Baron Maximiliano de Cruz. You have much to decide for the road ahead, and tomorrow is ticking closer with each passing moment. As you all settle in for the afternoon, or rather early evening, that is where you are at. Anything you guys would like to discuss, you may do so now. The floor is yours.
So how do y'all want to play this?
I want JJ to go play cards with the Baron and see if we can get any more information out of him. That's how I want to play this.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. I don't know how long y'all plan to stay up or whatnot, or how long it may take to play cards and how it's gonna go.
Can I look at the rules one more time and see if there's anything in there that mentions what happens if you lose cards?
For collected conquest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you look over your small, you open up your deck box, you dig through your cards, you leaf through them, you pull out the rules card. It states pretty simply, almost like a kind of emphatically. So, the game is not to be discussed with those who are not players of the game. The rules cannot be shown or read by those who have not impacted themselves as a collected conquest champion apparent and their attempt in seeking of the glory. It states that the game is played in 3 rounds, that each player must ante a term, an item, a card, or an agreement at the start of every game. Early game, mid game, and late game are the 3 phases that are played throughout. Players roll a d20, meta, right? Roll a d20 and add their deck modifier to their roll. The highest result wins. If you win by 5 or more over your opponent, you get an additional win that is calculated at the end of the game. Most wins. And of course, if you win by 10 or more over your opponent in the first round, it's considered a 1-turn kill, and you can levy an additional demand against your opponent, of which they cannot refuse. Each deck gets a +1 to its availability and synergies for every playable card in its deck after the minimum requisite of 20. If you ever have less than 20 cards, you do not meet the minimum to play the game.
Okay. I was just curious. I didn't know if it would have something dire if you lose your deck or something. I'm sure that's something I gotta find out.
He says, holding his cards over a trash can.
No.
It's like every drafted player in like a qualifier, and just sits there and just like, I didn't do good. Do I even play? Just take my couple rares and go home. So yeah, but no, there's nothing in the rules that like you don't get Shang Tsung'd or anything. Small shout out, go watch Mortal Kombat. It's pretty good. Have a couple beers first, then go watch Mortal Kombat. Then come back, watch us. But yeah, what do you all want to do? There are many options available to you. You know that you can leave your horses and wagon here. The Baron has made that quite apparent that regardless of the option you take, he will still extend formal, noble hospitalities to you and treat you as equals in a sense, and that he will allow you to stable your horses and wagon here at no cost, and well maintained and well cared for all of your pets and animals. He won't spay and neuter them. He won't.
I mean, I guess if JJ wanted to get more information, maybe we should go watch a game or something of this played, and then see if we can get more information regarding the trip, I suppose.
Well, we just kind of wanted to make sure that he's all right and make sure there's not anything extra that's bothering him, because he was certainly quite off.
We couldn't tell if it was either he was more interested in leaving the city himself, or if he did not want us to go to the steam fields.
Plus,
But something is amiss.
Yeah, and I did promise him at the start of this trip that if I found my way into a deck, I'd play some games with him. So, what's fair is fair.
I'm sure anyone with a deck would be welcome to spend the extra time with him and play some games, and in endearing yourselves, maybe we can get some better insight into what's going on. I intend to accompany by having Aja spend some time with whoever wishes to carry her. I gave it to JJ. She's a lovely bracelet.
Quite lovely indeed.
Now just to be in my room, meditating and watching through her eyes in case something comes up.
Vale, should the rest of us go with you in case anything gets up that we can have quick notice on it?
Well, Orville, you have a deck as well, so really it's more if Bucky just wants to watch me sit there for an indeterminate amount of time. Unless you don't want to go and play cards.
Bucky would definitely like to go watch.
Watch Velithil meditate, or
No, watch
us
the
play a
cards.
game? 'Cause I'm just making sure. She just mentioned if you wanted to watch her meditate.
One
I mean,
is supporting your friend.
Not
Jay
the
is really
first
creepy.
time that I have had very hairy gentlemen want to watch.
Oh, oh my. That's a bit much there.
Anyway, so yeah, let's play.
Okay, well, let's come to one other. Without, let's say we don't get any more information from him. We are all in agreement to still take the Southern Pass and go on foot to the steam fields, or do we want to take upon the pleasure cruise?
I like the idea of going south.
Same.
I
Yeah,
think so
agree.
too.
We did discuss this while you were unconscious, Colt. We were talking about leaving the horses and wagon here, as the advice that we've been given is that they will not fare well.
They will melt.
Yeah.
And so our intention was to go through the South Road so that we can still say that we've inspected the steam fields, and then head north to Syrinx, take the mountain pass through Syrinx, and then head over to Kingsflummet.
Okay.
Then we would return back and take the river from Lake Juniper to Wren's Fork and retrieve our horses to head back up to Silverhair.
Yeah, I like that plan. If we're gonna go south through the steam fields, do we have any preparation for ourselves in turn? Because I mean, we are gonna hit the upper portion of the steam fields there.
Yes.
Passing through.
Well, we have better willpower and protective clothing already. I don't know if you'll want to take off your armor or not. But we did buy some extra water skins. We can keep ourselves hydrated. And is there anything else you would suggest? You're a bit more
And we do
survivalist
have
savvy.
we will have somewhere to sleep as well that will keep us nice and protected.
And we did hire an expert to help us on this trip.
Ah, yes. An expert. Wink, wink, wink. I know who you're talking about. That wood elf,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. An expert.
Yes.
Eyebrows.
I see your eyebrows. They're bountifully going up and down. It's very.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm okay with this expert. Better not get too handsy, though.
You're worried about getting too handsy, Colt?
No! I'm just saying. Looking out for a friend. I mean, I
Don't
don't
have
know
to worry
why. I
about
don't
me,
need
Colt.
to necessarily. Yeah, I don't need
Can
to.
only
You'd
get
probably
half as
turn him into
handsy as I
like a
used to be able
skeleton
to.
or turn him into a
What?
skeleton, come back or something like that. Something weird that I'd be bothered by. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I guess I agree with that plan. I don't necessarily know. I've always had a little bit of an odd feeling about the Baron, to be completely honest. I don't know, but then again, I'm not very experienced with dealing with nobility too often. So I don't know if he's having some personal issues. Maybe it's best we don't be on the run if that's what we might be doing, or get ourselves involved in someone that's trying to have us avoid something down there, avoid seeing something.
Well, we
makes
don't really
sense.
know the circumstance, but honestly, if it is a personal problem, his hospitality and the general atmosphere of this place, I wouldn't mind putting forth the time to help him if we could. If that's an option.
Yeah, he's been an alright fellow so far. I'm gonna be honest, I personally feel like something was just off with his meeting today. Because as soon as he got back, I don't know if anyone else heard it, but there was all sorts of commotion, and then he was upset before we even talked about going to the steam fields. So I'm thinking it's something to do with whatever business transaction that he's trying to finish up.
Well, if Bucky's going to go with you and watch, I really don't need to have a sneaky snake on JJ's arm. I might as well just go as well.
JJ will extend her arm so that Aja may fly back.
A hiss and a slither, and the snake returns. Wings and all. So what's the plan?
Yeah. Should we head out?
Sure.
Go find Baron?
I think we'd be waiting a little bit longer.
Well, sure, but it's up to you guys. If you want to advance to that
Yeah,
moment, then
yeah.
let me know.
That's
I
fine.
think that's what
We
we
don't-
want to do, right? Are
We
we
don't,
all ready
we
to
don't have
advance?
to play for time. Yeah, we're not sitting here be like, well, it's just too early. Hold on, let me actually get a watch right. It's too early in the stream to advance the plot any after these last couple episodes. We just gotta.
I was
too
just
early.
confirming that there was time to be waited before we were actually heading out.
Yeah. You guys have some time. The Baron said he wanted to clean himself up and become more presentable and be in a more relaxed atmosphere and area. And then whenever time makes itself available to you, if you so choose to embark on a couple of rounds of collected conquest, he said to find him within his study, and he would be more than happy to entreat you all to an evening of games.
JJ's gonna grab her last jar of shine and bring it along with him.
All right. Bum-ba-dum. Anyone else making preparations, or do you guys want to move on to the study?
Let's do it.
Good to leave.
Yep, just gonna head to the study.
Head to the
Let's
study.
go.
All right. You all wait
The study.
a bit of time, making yourselves presentable, getting your things together. Those of you who have collected conquest decks, are you bringing them? Are you not? I see Orville's already shuffling cards because he's a mythic level player in a different game by some hack wizards, not like our proud sorcerers of the sea. Unfortunately, those skills don't translate into collected conquest. So you can't mull the 5 on this game, but sorry, ain't gonna happen. Horrible things. All right, so you all make yourself ready. But for Colt and Orville, you guys bringing your decks as well, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
they say. All right, cool. You all make yourselves make yourselves more presentable. Prepare your various goods and things. Vel and Bucky, while not players of the game, you no doubt have interest or a passing interest, except for clearly Bucky, who was told he's not allowed to play because he spent all his lunch money tickets somewhere else in an earlier life. And it's a very expensive game. Huh?
I spent it on Eldritch Blast.
On Eldritch Blast, yeah. Hey, it's fun for the whole family. Eldritch Blast, ages 10 and up. Ask your sentient tree in the oak if Eldritch Blast may be right for you. See a doctor if you shoot more than 4 blasts in a short rest. You all make way throughout the study. Orville, you've already been in this direction before, so it has no real bearing or issue for you to do so. You make way and promise all the way through the Baron's estate home until you find yourself outside of the familiar, well-carved door to the study. You can see soft candlelight is already peering out through the bottom of the door, and you can see that there are servants at attention and waiting outside the door of the study should they be required for any instance. As you arrive, the maid at the front kind of gives a small curtsy, and you hear, His Grace has been awaiting you. Certainly, I hope you all have a wonderful night. If there is anything that you might require, we'll be just outside at your beck and call. You need only knock upon the table 3 times, and we will come with bells on.
Thank you.
Of course, have a lovely evening. And with that, they open the door, and amid a small kind of almost cloud that erupts out from the study, you can smell very heavy cigar smoke kind of peter out and stain much of the area. Many of the tieflings now kind of cough and breathe it in. And you can see sat in kind of a larger table, a stack, and I mean an absolute stack of large tarot-like cards in groupings, all sat in the table, and a deck laid out in front of him. You see the Baron assembling cards, chewing at the end of a long drawn cigar. And as you walk in, he goes, my friends, welcome. I'm so glad that you came to here to play and collect the conquest. Now, my friends, I must tell you, I will not go easy on you today. I've had a rough one, as you can likely tell over lunch, bit of an early dinner. I'm coming for their blood, and I'm bringing some of my best cards, eh?
I think that's only fair. JJ's also going to look around for glasses and pour everyone there a small glass.
Yeah, you look around, you can see a small side table's been set next to the playing area with collected glass bottles of various different colored liquids, no doubt various whiskeys, scotches, and other types of drinks. Bucky, you immediately eyeball 2 faintly glowing Fey whiskeys and some wines that have been sat, and they are not even opened yet, and they seem to be recently recovered from a wine cellar. One of them even has like small fingerprintings on it from when the glass has yet to be kind of cleaned off. Many people in some circles, which real life and here, don't want to dust their wine bottles because it helps keep the light out, and it's a whole weird thing. I drink it. Tastes good. Tastes better in a bathtub. Anyway. Baron de Cruz looks at your group. He goes, so tell me, who is it that I will be playing first, eh? Come now. I do not bite.
JJ, you want me to take it first to see what's going on? I'm gonna.
I'll go
whisper.
first.
Okay. All right.
Whichever. But I suppose Orville.
Are you sure, Orville? You've got a really good deck. I've got a really bad one, so I could probably just y'all can see what's going on. I got the starter deck. You guys have like tournament level decks. I traded a tooth for mine. You guys traded like legit stuff for yours. It's up to you.
I'll go ahead.
All right.
I'm perfectly happy to go first, Scope.
Alright.
Bucky's gonna immediately go over to the Fey wine and pop it open and start pouring.
Sure. You, Orville, as you move the large wooden chair with a very heavy pad set up adorning it, and kind of climb up on top of it and pull out your deck box and start pulling your cards out and getting it all organized. You see the Baron start scooping his various tarot cards and start kind of long shuffling them. Bucky, you walk over to this small table, and you, as soon as you kind of lift this wine, there's a softness, a lightness to it. It doesn't weigh quite right. As you reach for the cork and pop it, you see small bits of almost like starlight twinkle out through the droplets that escape the bottle, and for a moment you can hear faintly a soft kind of almost a hum or a song that seems to be included within the bottle itself.
Interesting. Anybody want some?
Isn't everyone already holding a glass of JJ's?
Everyone's already holding a glass of JJ's things. The Baron does look at all of you that have now drank out of a mason jar. He goes, what is this that you have here? Huh? I do not mean to be disgracious, but you drink, and I am not given an invite to be one of the fellows?
She would have given a glass to him as well.
Oh, okay. Of course, you would have, but you did not. So I was very curious. He takes a glass and then gets a pour. And he smells it and he goes, "Oh, this might make me blind, eh?"
Possibly. It's just a little something that my family whips up back home.
Well, very well then. Let me try here. Smells like a cigar. Oh, it's his own. I just smell like a cigar. Sorry. He takes a sip and he goes, whoo, whoo. Oh, the tingle. I have not had moonshine this way in many years. Certainly, I thank you for your hospitality, Miss Lightning.
Of course. A guest has to bring something.
Of course. Well, I am hoping that you brought your A game, because I have never lost in Collected Conquest. One day, when the responsibilities of barony do not darken my doorstep, I hope to become champion and win my wildest desire. But I do not know what I desire just as yet, you know? It's something to think about, eh?
Certainly. Maybe we'll see you on that road someday if we take a big old liking to this as well.
The road again. Again, I tell you, there are better ways to travel than the road, my dear friend. Again, we could make a party boat. I don't know if you put any consideration into it, but it might be a good way to do this, eh?
We'll have to see.
All
We'll
right.
see.
All right, we will see, she said. All right, then. Let's see here. Is there, no, don't tell me. Jude, yes? Mr. Jude? De Jude?
That speaking.
All right. Well, as with anything here, of course, Collected Conquest is a game played between the two individuals agreeing on a thing. Tell me, what sort of... Well, oh no, do not spoil the surprise for what your deck is. But perhaps I could interest you in wagering of a card? Or is there something else that you would like to put on this game? I will allow you as the challenger and the soon-to-be-defeated opponent to decide the stakes.
I'd like to start by putting a card on it, sure.
A card on it, okay. What are you willing to wager? I have many rarities that I have. Let me see here. I could maybe give you, we say rare for a rare.
Is that third card out of my pack a rare?
Let's see here. Yeah, I do believe so. Well, you have one that's a UR, which is ultra rare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think you're the only one with a UR in the whole group.
Oh no. I think I think that would only leave me with an uncommon to wager. But that feels light.
But if you win, then you will have another rare. Huh? I must ask, if you do have the Green Dragon of Sages, I will wager whatever required. I am desperately looking for it to complete my deck.
Unfortunately, I have not opened one of those yet.
A shame. Come now, what are you willing to wager, my man? I'll put something of equal value, no matter what it is. A friendly game to start. I don't want to put too much blood in the water, eh?
Are both of the rares like essential to my deck? Because they kind of feel essential.
They are attached to the abilities that are listed on the card.
Okay. Yeah, screw it. Let's put the ultra rare on. Let's go.
Okay. So you wager that you have an ultra rare. He goes, allow me to verify this, eh?
Of course.
He just asks to see the card. As you show it to him, he looks at him and goes, oh, this is a good card to have, though. Curious that you would wager it freely. Typically, you would wage something more grandiose than this and then replace it when it comes time for payment. But I will accept this as a friendly wager. I will place another of my ultra rares upon it. Might there be a type of card you're seeking? Perhaps a spell or an equipment or a unit of some kind? I have a few in the ultra rare category that I would be happy to part with. I don't have them organized per se, but I could have a maid come by and organize them really quickly if you want. I was kind of rebuilding a bit.
That's all well and good. Spellcasters are up my alley.
Spellcasters, all right then. He digs through. He digs through his collection of cards, and he starts looking through, and finally gets to like a stack of about two or just a handful of cards as he kind of looks them over. He goes, a spellcaster. Let me see here. What might be best? Yes. Oh, yes. I have a spellcaster per se that might be good. I will wager the ultra rare card of Doradal Silversword, a warrior ultra rare. And he sets it down, and you see a tarot card that says Duriel Silversword. It lists the person as a half elf, and they have kind of not fully elongated ears, but the half one things here. They stand before a large gate and are brandishing a heavy looking sword. You note that their special ability that's listed on their card as an ultra rare is you may cancel one power belonging to another deck that this is included against. He goes, fair is fair? Are we good with the terms?
Fair is fair.
Very good then, my good friend. Let's see here. He sets a cigar down on an ashtray and starts kind of shuffling up. With that, the pair of you enter into round one. You draw your hand of cards. Go ahead and roll your d20. I will roll mine behind here. Oh.
So with the +1, I got an 8.
An 8, all right. The Baron rolls a 10, and with his deck modifier, he begins his shuffling. He starts playing. You start the game off. You reach through. You play one of your early mages. You look it up and you kind of set the board up a little bit, and you get a couple of like early rounds of playing out characters. The Baron's deck is very strange and confusing. He places 2 cultists right off the bat, and he places something called the Hatchery, and you're not quite sure what is quite going on. Near the end of the first phase of the game, however, he sacrifices everything that he has on his side of the table and summons a large, malicious-looking black dragon. It arises out of the card in a large illusion and breathes a sea of green fire over the top of your characters, and you watch as in one fell swoop, your cards are defeated, and the light fades from your deck. You've been defeated on the first round through an 1-turn kill, as he has a +11 on his deck, bringing his total to a 21. He looks you over, and you can see the small, your ultra rare fly from your side of the table into his palm, and he sets it down next to him. He goes, "My good friend, I am so sorry. I tried to go with the opening gambit of the Black Queen, and not many people fall for that. Typically you want to spend time attacking the cultists so they cannot summon the queen, you know? It is very rare, I can tell you, very new. I am so sorry to do this, but of course I must take the champion's advantage, being that you lost in such a gracious way. I will be gracious as well. My demand is that you dance for me. I want a shuffle. A full, unabashed shuffle right here. Come on right now." And as you kind of like are sitting there thinking it over, you see this faint glow, this dancing of lights erupt out from your side of the table. From your deck box, you can see an illuminating card rise up as the rules shake into the air. And yes, you are compelled to dance. You've fallen to the effects of the spell specifically, and Orville, for the next few minutes, you are uncontrollably dancing. The Baron lifting up his cigar, breathing in it heavily, and goes, "Oh, I love this one. So nice. Please, I am good. I am sedate. I am satisfied." And as he says this, you feel the energy of your deck kind of flash for a moment and settle back down. He looks you over and he goes, "Truly, thank you so much. So often I find myself on the ropes against my butler, and then he finds a way to lose, I feel like. It's a very strange circumstance, huh? So then, do you fancy another game? I will not employ the same trick twice, I tell you."
No, thank you. I've seen enough for the evening.
Okay, of course. I mean, there are many other tricks of the trade that my deck can employ. I have the Crimson King, the Burner. I have, there's a very secret set in my deck, a Forbidden Creature, of which I've never summoned, because it requires to do so on the final round of the game, and I have never truly gotten through the final round. It usually ends much earlier than this, eh? We could play for a handshake.
One of my friends here can present the opportunity for you to do so.
Oh, of course. Please, Mr. Honeycutt or Miss Lightning. I believe Miss Lightning, you did tell me you owe me a game, huh?
I do.
So come now. Who would be next, huh?
If I may say, you are dealing with each of these people's first games. You're really putting on quite the show of how inadequate they may be at this game so far. Don't you have a more... Well, I'm sure you'd still defeat them, but some deck that would be better at actually teaching them how to play?
I did not realize that I was the one to teach them how to play. How to say this? Mr. LeJod sat down with an ultra rare. That is a very powerful card, of which I will now happily use in my deck. But of course, I can understand this. I personally do not have it in me, the fighter's gusto, to go easy on an opponent, to show the weakness. Yeah? But tell you what, how about this? I have, where is she? And he knocks 3 times on the table. You hear the door open. You hear, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Who was the most recent one who, when the man came, we bought a deck for someone. It was, oh goodness, Triana. Send Triana in here." And you hear, yes, your Baron. Tell her to bring her cards. He goes, of course, your Baron. And you see one of the maids dash off. He goes, you will play against Triana. She is very new. I recently hired her, only a couple of months ago. Her deck, very new. Not very good cards in it at all. You'll be able to have a bit of a more fighting chance than against me, of course. And he kind of looks over and you look and like the cards he was going through earlier, while there are multiples of them, there are like copies of like many of the same cards. You look like, for any of you who are trained in perception, you look and the few that are flipped face up outside of like some of the rares and ultra rares seem to be like bulk commons. And a lot of them seem to be the ones that like thugs, cultists, spellcasters, a lot of the basic cards that come in starter decks. But a few moments pass. The Baron looks you all over and he goes, might there be any other consideration as well? I know you had mentioned walking, but I again would like to speak to you friend to friend regarding my proposition to see you on a boat with me. We go to Lake Juniper for the afternoon. We can make it a great party. I'd be looking forward to a distraction from work, eh?
I mean, sure. JJ's gonna sit down and start shuffling her cards. I just think maybe we need some more convincing, I guess.
Convincing?
Like, your company, great company.
Yes.
Great company.
Of course.
We are technically working.
But of course, technically, but I mean, it's the idea of, how to say it, I mean, the job was already done. We spoke of this earlier when you first arrived. It was taken care of. They chased that poor man. They killed people in the street. They dragged people around from the tavern. I heard about the person they exploded or something. I don't know. One of the spellcasters, he spiked the mind of this individual, and that was it. You know, he pretty much kaput after that. Huh?
I wouldn't put it past him.
I'm just saying then is they seem to have well enough taken care of, from what I can assume, and you'd be wasting your time for the dangers of verifying something that has already been done, eh? Whereas, with myself, I could write you a writ, say we personally saw to it, I can verify everything on your behalf, and instead, we take the day off, go up to the lake, have a great and grand old time, invite some friends if that is what you're looking for, eh? Good food, good drink, certainly good company if we wanted, eh?
I think we're all still thinking about it.
Yeah, still considering. Okay.
We're
Hey,
considering, of course.
of course, the consideration. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear it. I very much would look forward to sharing the lake with you all. It would make for a grand time and certainly something I'd be more than happy to do, you know, as they say.
I gotcha. I mean, couldn't you do it by yourself too, or do you just?
I mean, it is lonesome to say the least when you're walking out and all by yourself, you know. It's more suited and fitting to be invited among good friends and company. You can pay people to hang around you, and you can tell them to speak when spoken. You can tell them to tell you a story or to dance for you. But there is something to be said for the company of those who you do not have to pay, you know? And yes, I understand in a way I am still technically bribing you in a way with a good time. But it is more of a show of friendship rather than it is a show of force, huh?
I got you.
Well then, but you speak of this. If there was anything we could offer you or that you would be looking for, mightn't you let me know what might be best for you, huh?
Well, I think one of the big hang-ups we've got is that what if they double check us? You
Well,
know,
I mean, who is going to double check you, eh?
gosh, I don't remember that man's name.
The man?
The one we talked
The
to.
Inquisitor.
Yeah, that man. The one back in Silverhearth, the king's representative.
The king's representative. Oh, yes, the Inquisitor. He is a good friend of mine. He told me, of course, of your arrival and to expect you here and that you are working for the, oh, now I am blanking on the name. Yeah, a herald of the king, the goatee boy with the long beard hairs, yeah?
Yeah, that one.
Yes, of course. My friend the Inquisitor has left this within my purview. He speak, how to say, oof. Well, I think we discussed it the first night you arrive, huh? How to say, he does not take kindly to your type of people and many of the other, well, the horny people in town, you know? He has a very rude boy attitude for that. He doesn't want to, I think the term is to dirty thine hands with the situation. As far as he is concerned, I would assume that he believes you all to be doing something irrelevant and not really worth his notice. So I think if someone such as myself were to say mission accomplished, it wouldn't be looked twice upon. But without proper nobility to sponsor you in this regard, even if you were to say you did your job, there could be complications that you didn't do your job just because of how horrible it is in Silverhearth, you know?
Yeah. It's just a tricky situation. We don't want to upset the folks here, which might then get back to the lady, and then she might get upset for whatever reason, and then we're all working it out in our heads.
Of course.
We're trying to figure it out, see what's best.
Of course.
JJ's gonna put down her Elder Old Blacks.
Okay, you put it down. He looks it over and he goes, please, I do not want to insult your friend, Miss Dowenvey. I say to you, I will allow you to play people of your acquainted skill level. So, just a moment. And he knocks 3 times. He goes, where is Triana? Where is she? She has people to play.
Pick that card back up.
Yeah, you pick it back up. He calls out to her. You finally hear the door opening, and you see a purple-skinned tiefling woman with various musical instruments strapped around her back, various documents and paperwork, all kind of in disarray. Oh, it almost loaded. It almost loaded right. Whoop! No, not that one. Oh, goodness gracious! Great balls of fire. Please wait while this DM refreshes. Whoop. Whoop. There she goes. Whoop. And we're going for it, and we'll extend that there. There we go. So you see this purple-skinned, fair tiefling woman dressed in noble finery, various musical instruments. She rushes into the room. She goes, oh, my Baron, I am just terribly sorry. I didn't know that you would be requesting my services this evening, so I was going to go into town. Might you fancy a lullaby or something to help you sleep? She goes, no. I do not call you here for your musical acuity. I call you to defeat my friends in collective conquest, because you are new at starting, and I am not. And it feels, in the opinion of Miss Dowenvey here, that it is a bit one-sided. Oh, I forget myself. Apologies. These, my friends, are the Seekers of Gulanti, all the way here from the little town of the 3 families, Deerwood, eh? Many horned folk there, many horny peoples, eh? It's only fair, in their opinion, that they play someone who is of a less experience in the game. And she goes, I will attempt to, but I've only just recently, in your service, gotten myself adjusted to. He goes, this is fine, yeah? It's, you'll do great. Please, here, sit here. Do you want to smoke my cigar? And she goes, No, I would rather not do that. 1,000 apologies, lords and ladies. I am known as Triana. I'm sorry, Humstrung. A pleasure to meet you. I'm the Baron's court bard in a sense, I suppose. I'll take that seat, my lord, if that's quite all right. Of course, Triana. Sit. And she sits down in his heavy chair, and he like slides her in. He's like, "Are you comfortable? Are you in a good mindset to win?" And she goes, I think I can figure it out. I think I will be fine. Thank you." She digs in her bag and she pulls out a deck box, much in the way similar as yours, kind of like put together with like pieces of wood, engravings and stuff. And she pulls out a small deck of tarot cards and starts to shuffle them. And you see her do the shuffle that we see everyone at every GameStop or game store do the first time they ever have to shuffle a deck of cards, which is the big chunky boy shuffle. And they just kind of like press the sides. And it's a lot of like trying to figure out how, if I'm squeezing the bottom part of the deck, why the cards at the top don't slide into it. We've all been there. Don't act like you've not been there. Audience, all 5 of you, you know what I'm talking about. Everyone does it. It breaks all the dragon shields, and everyone gets real sad. All right, cool, thanks. I mean, this is not based on a real game at all, so don't worry about it. So, she shuffles up, she looks you over, and she goes, apologies, I do know, you know my name, but I assume you don't want to be addressed as Seeker Galanti, yes?
No. You can call me JJ, and JJ will offer her the jar as well.
And she looks it over and she goes, I don't spit tobacco, I'm so sorry.
Ain't for tobacco.
Oh,
It's
well,
just a little shine.
oh, I'm quite on the job, but I do appreciate that. Of course, I'm here to perform. I guess it would be meaning of a sense in that regard. Well then, shall we play? And she shuffles up.
Certainly.
As she kind of gets her cards together, she goes to reach to draw her opening hand, and the Baron puts his hand over hers. He goes, Triana, I tell you again, you have to read the cards, okay? You have to wager something before you can start playing, otherwise you break the rules, and nobody is allowed to break the rules. And she goes, oh, of course, I do forget myself, Baron. Apologies, still a bit, in my own thoughts about this one. And she turns to JJ and she goes, Miss JJ, might there be something you're looking to wager on this game? And he goes, ask her for her rarest card. And she goes, I'm sorry, with all due respect, my Baron, I am the one playing the game right now, am I not? He goes, oh, you are right. Saucy, very saucy. All right, I will just sit and I will watch and I will see what you do. And she goes, pay close attention then, my Baron. And she kind of like straightens up in her chair and adjusts her blouse. You can tell like she definitely threw herself together to be here. And there's like a very fine line of hesitation, both from being brand new apparently to working for the Baron, to also just her general demeanor. And she looks over and she, now then, as we're the two players, I do apologize for trying to rush ahead. Miss JJ, is there something that you're looking at after or wanting in this exchanging of cards?
Nothing in particular that wouldn't be a little obscene between two new folks.
Nothing particular that wouldn't be a little obscene. How about we wager a secret?
Okay.
Very good. I will wager a secret to you, and you will wager a secret to me, and I think that'll be fair.
I think that's plenty fair.
You see the Baron like go to speak, goes, a wager will not make your deck. And she goes, my Baron, I am playing this game, am I not? He goes, you are. A secret, a game of secrets. Exciting. Very exciting indeed. Oh, great. She shuffles up. And you guys enter into you shake hands and you enter into the first round. Go ahead and roll your d20.
With my +3, that's a 17.
17. Okay. She pulls her deck together, and she starts playing down cards as you are playing out these various cultists and other kind of worshippers throughout your deck. You have many hooded figures with long drawn knives chanting rituals. Every card summons them to the field, their illusionary aspects floating across the table and coming into combat with a series of strange, common-looking folk, many farmers with pitchforks, local militia, and individuals seemingly out of place. She goes, ooh, I'll play this one. And as she ends the first round, you watch as two of your cultists corner off and section a small chicken, of which they then stab to pieces, and the card flies behind her from the table. She goes, drat, I thought that would go better. She got a 16 total. So you win the first round, you have 1 win. She kind of goes through, you guys draw and arrange your cards for the second round of this game of Collected Conquest. She starts to play out various new things. Go ahead and roll your d20.
It's a 19.
A 19, okay. She kind of goes through and she goes, I have an idea here. I think this will work. And she places a card down, and as she turns it sideways, she creates this illusionary large tavern of a building that mounts up. And from inside, she places another card underneath it. And you can see this small kind of almost dancing musical notes erupt out from the tavern. In doing so, you manage to move forward a small game plan and strategy, and in doing so, many whispering creatures erupt from your deck and begin to spread falsehoods and rumors and tales of impending doom. In doing so, her small tavern is soon on fire and burning in front of her. She gasps and goes, oh no, I had planned, oh goodness. You won by 5 or more, as her total was a 6. And she looks over and you just see this burning tavern as it burns down. You are 3-1. She looks over the state of the game, and the Baron has his face in his hands. He's like, I told you to do this with the special card I give you, and and she goes, I'm so sorry, Baron. Miss JJ, I don't want to further embarrass myself. Can we just call it? Would that be all right? You can win.
JJ will extend her hand, but she's kind of got that face of that 6-year-old girl standing in front of the burning building as she tastes victory.
Yes.
It is just wonderful.
Yes. The sound of the barking dog means I need to take a 5-second break real quick. Let me go let her out. It back. Look at that. Hey yo, hey hiya, howdy, hello. So yeah, hey, we're back. I've got my door open. I'm waiting for this dog to come back, but she's just exploring the yard. It was super fun. Got to spray the whole yard down, but as I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm dog sitting, so if you hear big loud woofs in the background, I'll just be up and I'll take care of it and I'll come right back. You just have to hold her. She's got to cuddle her, but she's a pit Russell, so she's about the size of my entire like waist down, and she thinks she's as small as Nova Bean. And if you don't know who Nova Bean is on JJ's stream. No, don't show it. We got to get him to your stream. That's how we got to make him. You want to see Nova Bean?
Oh, she's not happy about this.
Nope. There you go. She's so angry. Nova Bean on her D&D premiere. What a little diva. Paws out, just like, Yeah. I also learned the other day that if you have white nails and white toes, they're called hoe toes. And I find it funny that Nova has white feet. Got hoe toes. Sorry, Nova. You a hoe. Anyway, so when we last left before break, JJ had just embarked on an immaculate fight of burning down a tavern in a game of collected conquest, thusly defeating via conceding to the woman known simply as Triana. The Baron seems a little upset, and he kind of looks to her and he goes, you were supposed to, in the third round, you could have used your pact ability. You had a chance to come back. And she kind of looks over in his direction, and then as she's holding your hand, JJ, you feel, as she presses her hand to her chest, you see she kind of turns her hand, and you can see a brass wire on the inner lining of her jacket. And as she speaks, you hear no sound come from her lips. Instead, you all hear nothing. But JJ, you hear very clearly a whisper in your ears and your mind itself being cast to you. And she goes, a game well played. A secret for you, then, and one I hope you take seriously. It's not known publicly, but the Baron has no power here, and you'd be wise to know that. And she smiles widely. And as she moves her hand from the small bit of wire in her coat, she looks to you and she goes, well then, not that I don't enjoy embarrassing myself, but might we adjourn, or I could maybe play someone else? You seem to be rather proficient at this game, and your cards are rather terrifying, to say the least.
I apologize for the slight overpower nature of it. I wasn't quite expecting that, but I do appreciate a good game.
Of course. I would, and she looks to the bear and she goes, I would welcome playing again, of course, as upon the Baron's request, I am here to play these games, is that right? He goes, oh yes, yes, as the Baron, I would like to ask you to play a few games. Maybe you play with the Honeycut. Honeycut, do you want to play her? Her deck is very okay.
I think you'd be good with it, Colt. You'd be fine.
Come now, I assure you I do not bite.
All right, let's
Come on,
play.
Colt.
Right.
Out of character, I was going to just challenge the Baron, but I'm going to lose so bad.
Oh, God.
I was just going to challenge him. I challenge you to a duel.
To a duel. She watches as JJ, you collect up your cards and things. As you're taking your cards away, you start to see like the small illusions of your cultists stabbing innocent civilians in the street fades from the table. And you collect your deck and slide it back into the deck box. Colt, you sit down, pull your cards out from their container, begin to shuffle them up. She looks you over with a smile and begins to shuffle as well, doing her best. And she starts to just do the Vegas shuffle, just kind of rubbing the cards together and just being like, that's how they get mixed up. And you see the Baron kind of like gripping his fingers together and like crunching his cigar. He goes, you're going to bend the corners and and he just seems like more like concerned about the cards in her deck than like what she's doing. She kind of just like stacks them up together and like taps the sides in. And she goes, I do apologize. I believe the Baron said you're Honeycut. It is a pleasure to meet you, but what might you want to be called?
You can call me Colt.
Colt. Very good. Well, Mr. Colt, I, again, respectfully, as a member of the Baron's Manor, I will allow you to put the stakes on our game. What do you think is fair for this?
Well, what'd you be willing to put up? I mean, I don't know. I guess if you wouldn't mind, maybe you put up something and I'll try to match it.
Of course. Are you an individual possessed of risk, or would you prefer something simple for you?
Oh, I'm a risk taker.
A risk taker. Now that I like. Let's see here. What would be a fun wager? Well, what is it you do in your line of work, Mr. Honeycut?
Well, I'm a soldier.
A soldier?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about this? If I win, you... Now this will be fun. You must duel the Baron. Swords, I think, would be lovely.
A
The
friendly duel.
Baron goes, wait, what? He goes, no, I'm thinking, I think we should make it a duel to the death, Baron. He goes, I do not agree to this. And she goes, technically I can wager whatever I want. And he has to follow through with it if I win. He goes, I suppose this is right. She kind of smirks. And she looks to you and she goes, now what do you want if you win, Mr. Honeycutt?
Huh.
You see the Baron get really kind of like pale in the face and nervous.
All right. Should I win, you are going to apologize to the Baron. Actually, you know what? How about you owe the Baron one favor, whatever he asks?
Oh, now that is spicy. I think that's quite fun. I agree. I think that'll be equivalent in a manner. So if I win, it's a fight to the death then. If you win, I suppose I will grant a favor's request to my employer. That sound about right?
Any request that he may ask of you, even if it's outside of what your agreement being under his employ may be.
Colt.
Rather fancy way to word that.
What? Am I doing something wrong? I don't know.
You are wagering your loss towards having a fight to the death with the Baron. A noble and leader of this. Do you not see the implications and problems if you lose?
I mean, I don't know. I watched her play. It's not like
Well,
she's gonna get real good all of a sudden. I mean, I got a pretty good deck. I got this goose card that I just added. It's real good.
he holds it up, and you can see this beautiful full art painting of a goose with its mouth open and fire coming out of the back. And in the back, you squint, and it looks like there's like some type of like wig shop in the background that's on fire.
well, let me remind you. What's another 100 to add?
What's in that?
Souls!
Yeah, sure, but you know what? I'm gonna go wait outside if this is getting this stupid.
I mean, if you don't think that's fair, I
Do
still have
whatever
not
you want,
necessarily
Colt.
agreed
You
to
are
anything.
a captain in this division. You are a leader, and you may choose to walk your path.
She, as you say this, you see the tiefling's ears kind of twitch, and she looks very, very, almost steadfast at Colt. And she kind of like seems to look through you for a moment, and the smile and the smirk fades from her face, and she looks directly at you. And Colt, do you speak, or does anyone here speak Primordial? All right. She speaks something, and you can hear this deep-sounding, robust voice, and you hear this, Uthonde Fosasu. Captain? And she waits a moment and lets it hang in the air, and looks to you and goes, apologies, I thought I was speaking with, well, rather, addressing someone different. Please, decide amongst yourselves what you think is fair. If you'd like me to change my wager, then I will be happy to do so. Give me one moment, I'll be right back. Think it over, Colt.
I mean, is it really that bad of an idea? I don't do it.
I mean, it's up to
I
you.
am then obligated to fight him to the death.
I mean, yeah, you should.
If I lose.
It's up to you.
And she's gonna pull a Maximilian or fucking Kaiba bullshit right now. I know she is. She's gonna be like, oh, that's a plus 37? What?
No, I don't.
It
think
would have
that-
been plus.
I don't think that's the problem. I think you're just dealing with D20 versus D20 even
Mhm.
without any pluses. You're putting a lot in random chance.
Okay, out of character question.
Sure.
Can I use my hobgoblin like save face thing on this game?
Hobgoblin's a? Oh, I gotta look at that. Let me find out.
Here, I can read it for you.
Yeah, go for it. Read me the oracle text.
Saving face. Once per short rest, if you miss with an attack or fail an ability check or saving throws, you can gain a bonus equal to the number of allies you can see within 30 feet. Max +5.
Am I feeling
I don't
generous?
I don't know if any of these are considered any of those things. So.
It is a D20 roll in which you add a modifier. Does that make it an ability check? Oh. Am I cool to make it an ability check? Yeah, that seems fun. Yeah, sure, why not? I think that's fun. I think that's in the spirit of the game. There's a lot of tryhards that play card games that don't want to lose by any means necessary. If that means you have to hobgoblin-y cheat and draw from the bottom of the deck, I mean that's fine. Yeah, sure. I'll let you keep your safe face. That's funny.
Vince.
Yeah, that seems broken and hilarious. Why not? If I wanted this game to be balanced, I wouldn't have made it.
I just opened it up for a bunch of cheating now.
What?
For all the characters.
Wait till you go against the divination wizards.
That was always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
My grandfather has no pathetic cards. I've seen it.
Morgan has lucky, and she hasn't chosen to join this.
There's also halflings that just exist.
All right, sure. I will play.
You'll play?
I will. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Let's do it then. All right.
I just really hope this does.
You see the Baron like put his cigar out, and he's like he starts holding his hands together, and you can see his knuckles are white, and he's like, okay. Hey, Colt. Hey, Honeycutt. We are good friends, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry. It'll be fine.
You're not.
Everything's gonna be okay. Me and you, we're gonna be okay.
The sword is just for show, yeah. Like you're not very good at it.
Yeah, no, I'm not very good at it.
All right, yeah. I mean, like,
no, I mean, I was a soldier for a long time. I think like 11 years or something. But
sure.
It's
I
fine.
mean, but what's 11 years between friends? Yeah, like new friends, like 3-4 day old friends. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I wouldn't use my sword. I got something else for it.
You have something else.
Situation.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
You would have to use your sword. You just agreed to a sword
Oh,
duel.
I thought the
fair
rule
enough,
was
fair
this. So,
enough.
okay,
Sword
but
duel,
so
yeah.
you're not even good with this sword, is what you're telling me. Like I got a shot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. All right.
Don't worry about winning against sword duel.
Hey,
It's gonna be
break
fine.
a leg. Break a leg, guy. I hope you win, please. You see her smile and finish shuffling the cards, and she sets them down. She goes, "Now then, shall we play?"
Yes. One last question out of character.
Yeah.
The extra pack that we got, we could add those immediately into our deck,
Yep.
right?
So long as you're allowed to. Like you have a card that you need a spellcaster for,
Yeah.
which you don't have one.
One of them I can't. So
Yep.
then that adds +2
And then the goose's
because I don't
ability.
have any pluses. Okay. Cool.
Yep. That all gets added straight to your deck.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So she smiles, shuffles up, and you guys begin the first round. Go ahead and roll.
I'm gonna call evens
Go right ahead.
for my thing.
JJ, don't you want to wish him some luck?
Would bardic inspiration out of character? Would bardic inspiration work on these rolls?
I feel like why not? That seems funny. Sure.
Sure. She'll pat him on the back. Colt, you got it. You'll be fine, buddy. Don't you worry about it.
You see as you do this and you kind of give this inspiration, the Baron kind of like narrows his vision, and you hear your ears twitch a little bit. Those of you who are perception hear the Baron mutter in his breath. He goes, no backseat gaming, but I mean if you're going to win with it, then like I guess you can do that, you know. But you definitely get the feeling of like maybe in another type of card game, the idea of like people standing behind their friend, and it's kind of like that coaching thing. And that really kind of frowned upon type thing that you're doing, but you're new to the game. Who cares? You know, right? This isn't a tournament. This is for funsies. It's their fault. So yeah, go ahead and you can add the Bardic Inspiration to your dice roll. You choose when you use it. You don't have to do it right away. It can be this roll, the second roll, or the third roll. Your choice.
Okay. And I got evens. I got 8, so I'm not gonna re-roll, but
Okay.
I'll just. No, fuck it. I will re-roll.
Get it for your
Why
reroll.
not?
Why not?
Okay, that's better. 14.
14. All right.
And a 5.
And a 5.
D6.
So okay, you start playing You start playing your various cards, playing it out. She smiles and places down the tavern she had played in the second round against JJ. With it, she slides a card underneath and the doors fly open. You can see a rather kind of resplendent individual with a large kind of musical instrument and start kind of parading out of the tavern, playing a large kind of jubilant song. You rub your nose, place down, and kind of dig through your deck a bit, kind of seeking a way to win. You place down 2 of your thugs, your basic units out of your deck. With that, you assemble the smithing district across the street, and then you manage to give one of your thugs a magic weapon. It materializes in his hand as a brilliant, beautiful, magical club. As her bard walks from the tavern across the other side of the table, attempting to enthrall and mesmerize your troops, you watch as the 2 of them point, shout, and make motion to rob this individual, and using this thug's magic club, beat the living daylights out of this thug. You got a 19 total. Her total is 8. You one-turn kill her deck as your 2 thugs proceed to beat her poor bard to death, walk into the tavern, and you start watching as various other patrons are thrown out of the tavern, being beaten to death. By the end of the first round, what is this little small town you've seemed to assemble in this game of collected conquest has now become a full almost highwayman operation that has now been conquested and taken over by the veterans of the land. Colt, you have beaten her handedly. Her deck it kind of erupts in this bright cavalcade of colors, and she goes, "Oh my, what is that now when this happens?" And you see the Baron go, "It means I'm not going to die," is what it means. It also means that Colt can ask you for anything he wants, and you have to do it. And she goes, "Oh, well, that's rather annoying. Mr. Honeycutt, I do believe you've won. What is it that you want? I owe the Baron a favor, of course. I will look forward to that. But as you have me at this point, what is it that you want from me?" The world around you becomes a hush and mute. You are alone. Your choices. Anything you ask for, she cannot refuse.
Tell us all why you wanted me to fight him to the death.
Oh, well, that's a matter that is quite simple indeed, you see. The Baron is a beautiful, beautiful man, wearing humanic skin, and truly, while he has his worth, he is as useless as the words that erupt from him, and as he continues to complicate matters with our excursion into these lands of Ravan, it would befit me to watch him die a noble death, and thus clear the way for the true masters of this land. Will that suffice, Mr. Honeycutt?
Just want to know who the true masters you believe, or who you believe the true masters are.
Oh, well, I suppose we could play again if you'd like. But, and she looks to her deck and the light has faded, I believe I've held up my end of the bargain. The Baron immediately leans forward and the table goes, "I request my favor that you do not kill me in my sleep." And she goes, "Oh, I would do it while you were awake, but fine, not while you're sleeping." He goes,
Damn it, Baron.
Shit. And he kind of like leans back in his chair, and she looks to you with a smile, and she goes, "Baron, I do tire of these games. You've wasted quite enough of my time, personally. Might I be excused?" He goes, "Yes, you're excused. You may go." And she goes, "Thank you." She stands up and goes to leave the table and stops and goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She snatches up the like almost in like a fist, like bending some of the corners, her deck and her box, and she gives a small bow. She goes, "Might you all have a wonderfully well-rested evening." And she exits, and you can see that the maids open the door for her, and without a tap, without a sound, without a motion, they're ready and waiting for her exit. And the Baron kind of just sits there as the door closes and smiles and goes, "So, Honeycutt, you won the game. You definitely have a very good deck. Might you want to play a couple hands? Yeah, I mean, between buddies, my deck is not that good. You might win. You know, maybe you could ask for whatever you want, or you know, maybe you lose and we can you know, go on a boat together, where it's, you know, somewhere far away from here."
To cruise.
Yep.
Do you know that you're a pawn in whatever their plan is?
I know many things, but to speak of such things, you might say my tongue is tied, eh?
I mean, cat's a little out of the bag at this.
Yes. Indeed, if they had a cat in a sack, it would be meowing around. How to say this? It is a known, willing unknown, eh? I am the Baron, and I have acquired my barony through hard work and determination, and the love and admiration of all of the people who are in my town, eh? So, you know, and that is how that will stay, as I speak these words.
I think he's lost a few card games.
I must tell you, I have never lost a game.
Insight?
I think this all.
Roll insight.
I think the boat trip's making more sense. I think.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, not 20.
Nat 20.
Or 21.
The sentence he spoke is, "I must tell you that I've never lost a game." So, you know, being that we are of equal stature and measure, one friend to
I'm
another.
Curious.
Yes.
And I will take a piece of paper and put it before him. Can you perhaps express what you cannot speak?
I would prefer not to.
That makes sense.
If we were to speak it, could you confirm it?
Those are words that you might speak, and you know, certain things here. I think the subject is a very dirty matter, and we might want to progress the conversation a bit further away from this, eh?
Would you like a protected space?
Oh, well, what is to say protected exactly in
A
this
safe
word?
space, perhaps.
No,
Maybe I should call upon our friend, Mr. Sallow. He might be able to assist.
Perhaps. I would personally take it as a favor to you all to maybe not get too much more involved than you already are. Eh? It is not for you. Might you fancy a game, my friend?
Sure, I'll play a game with you.
Ah, fantastic. I will use my deck as usual, eh?
All right.
What are the
sounds good.
stakes called? Mr. Honeycutt.
I'm gonna
He
put up.
slowly slides over and like starts shuffling.
I'm gonna put up my best card. It's called Fork.
Fork. You have a
It's
fork
just
card?
a fork. Yeah.
Well,
I
all
know.
right.
It's very extra common.
Oh. He looks it over and he goes, all right. I will wager in agreement with the game. I will wager my services for a year as your squire.
As our squire or my squire?
Your squire, sir.
My squire.
Correct.
I would like that. Never had a squire. I see
Yes.
all those knights always
course.
being all
A wonderful thing to have.
shit. Have those shit grins and stuff with their little squires and stuff
Mhm,
being their
mhm.
blade.
He reaches his hand out across the table. Yes, of course. All the things you want.
Hmm.
Colt.
Yes.
think about it?
I mean, it's sounding pretty good. And I don't know, you just sound kind of jealous that you're not getting a squire. I might be getting a squire right now.
You
and
hear
he's a
the
baron.
door behind you open, and in walks the very tall, horn-curled butler of Baron de Cruz, and he places a hand on your shoulder, Colt, and he goes, "Oh, I am terribly sorry, my dear friends, but I do believe it is quite past the Baron's bedtime. I would like to, of course, thank you for entertaining our lord and master. Please, I and my staff escort you to your rooms for the evening." And the Baron kind of like slowly retracts his hand.
I think the Baron wanted to play a game. Why don't you let him play?
What's one more game? I'll play.
Yes, I unfortunately do not think it is in the Baron's best interests. He's had a very taxing day of business being handled. Isn't that right, Baron de Cruz? And the Baron kind of like stares at him for a moment. There's a pause, and his eyes kind of shake left and right in their sockets. He goes, "Yes, apologies. Something has come over me. I am very tired all of a sudden. Oh, yeah, no more time for games. Maybe next time, Honeycutt, eh? We can meet again for such things, eh?" Yes.
Didn't you already make a wager?
You did.
Did I make a
The
wager?
major was already made, I think.
And you see the butler smile and go, "I didn't hear a wager." He goes, "Yes, there wasn't a wager. I don't think there was." And nothing agreed upon, of course. He goes, "No handshake?" He goes, No handshake, no handshake. It's fine. And you see the Baron start like packing up his cards and like just kind of like taking them in his arms. And he goes, "There we go, sir. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for this uncouth behavior. We, of course, will look forward to breakfast in the morning. If there's anything else you might need, please just contact a member of my staff. Right this way, Baron de Cruz." And he goes, "Yes, as you say, my sir. My butler. Of course." And he walks out, and you see a smile, and he just goes, "You would do well to think on these actions you're attempting to travel, these things you're here to do. This is not your concern, and definitely not something that I think you would want to get meddled in. I do believe and have it on good authority that you will be leaving in the morning. Let's make sure you're not late." Early to bed, early to rise. We thank you for staying with us. He turns and exits, and the door closes behind him to leave you all in the study.
I'm really tired of these fucking nobles. I'm gonna say that out loud. I don't even give a shit. I'm really fucking
It's not
tired
the
of this
nobles.
bullshit.
What noble is a problem for you right now, Colt, or are you so ignorant of everything that just happened?
The damn butler. I guess he's technically not a noble, but I
He
guess
could be
maybe he.
anyone.
He's probably
Whatever
not
he
a
is.
noble. He's probably more than a noble, to be honest.
Well, we probably shouldn't talk about it here, because he was listening to the game from outside.
They're gonna hear it either way, to be honest. And they know that we know at this point. I'm willing to bet they're probably the same folks going in the steam fields. I'm willing to bet that you either gotta fight your fight and Ren's Fork or Kind's Plummet probably at this point as well. I also don't know who the masters are and if they're the same thing.
I have a feeling they're the same folks we've been dealing with.
JD, JJ's gonna send a message
Mhm.
over to Vaz.
Okay. What do you say?
Vazler, buddy, I'll give you 3 more years
Mm,
if you let me know what's going on with this group of tieflings here. What are they doing? Who's their masters? That kind of stuff.
You hear a whisper back in your ear, and you hear, "No deal.
What'll be a deal, buddy?
Your line of credit is rather untouched for repayment. There seems to still be a very red individual who is alive. You're welcome. And there seems to be the matter of the previous arrangement. You're welcome again. Maybe if you want to put something a little bit more fun on the table, we can talk. But no.
What's your
not-
fun, bud?
I don't know. Killing spree. That
You know, it
tavern,
is fucking tempting at this point.
we just light them on fire, the whole tavern. Oh wait, no. We could burn the Baron.
I don't think the Baron's our problem.
I mean, so?
I'll think about it, bud. Thanks, though, for the direction.
I'm just saying, we're in a room full of books. One torch, this whole place would go up. Lock the doors, they'll scream. Oh wait, they're tieflings. Some of them might scream, depending on what circle of hell they're from.
Yep.
They might just like it as a sauna otherwise. I mean, that's kind of them. Think on it. Maybe you smoke them out or something.
We'll figure it out.
All right. If you think of something more fun, though, open offer. But yeah, I mean, I already kind of have a few years of your life. It's all right. You got a big debt, though. I feel like if I keep giving, you're just going to keep accruing. And, then you'll just be a debtor.
That's my way.
Also, when's the last time you washed your hair? It smells so bad in here.
I washed it yesterday.
Get some shampoo, lady.
I washed it with shampoo. They had fancy shampoo here.
Mm-hmm.
Wash yourself.
Yeah, it smells like Cherub's asshole in here. I hate it.
Sorry, I'll get you some brimstone.
Much better. Why don't you... Hey, there's a cigar on that table. Just rub the ashes in your hair.
You muddy the back of your hair with ashes. You see her,
That's the stuff. Smells like home.
you just kind of like wiggle. You see like this big lumping hairy mass near the back of JJ's head just wiggle around like,
Nice.
Line of credits done for, guys. I can't assist.
That's fine. He was locked away in a lamp for who knows how long. You might not have the information anyways.
You can go back. That's what he did last time.
True. Well,
I'm gonna assume we're not welcome in this town anymore.
That sounds to be a pretty safe assumption.
there's 2 layers to this town. And the question is, and I don't even care if they hear it, are we just walking away? Because if we're not, might as well just get started right now.
Do it.
At that point, I'd rather get the hell out of here. 9 hells out of here. And take the
Let
boat.
them do whatever they're up to then?
Boo.
Yep. Take the boat, get through.
I'm not sure the boat's going to be an option. I don't think we're going to have the
Folks are
Baron available in the morning at this point.
We could hire one, but if y'all still want to go underneath, that's fine. I'm good to take sleep rotations, tie the horses to the side of the cart, get out of here. I do feel bad for DeCruz, so.
We could heist him out and bring him with us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they have some sort of tracking system on him. It's the only problem.
Likely. What do you think, Colt?
I think we should find a better place to talk about and everything that just happened. I know that there may not be a great place, but here's not.
Alright, let's go say
Best.
hello to Sallow. We can get 2 layers of protection going. If what his little doohickey does, and what I can assist with. And JJ will just walk out and start heading back to the guest quarters.
I'll follow.
Orville follows well.
All right. You all make way from the study. You open the doors, and you can see the small hallway is surprisingly crowded. There seems to be about 6 or 7 butlers stood at attention on the various sides of the hallway, all tieflings, very much smiling ear to ear, all kind of giving a slight nod upon your exit. The moment that the last of you leaves the study, a few maids walk into the room, and you can hear the feverish sounds of cleaning and picking up from the various area. They seem to be rifling through various things as well. You all walk throughout the hallways, and for a time there was many moments in your stay here within the manor that it almost felt too large for the amount of staff on hand at any given time. But now as you make your way back to the quarters, you note there are indeed quite a number of individuals that possess a task, job, or calling of employment here at the manor home. Nearly every hallway has at least one butler or maid that greets you, smiles, wishes you a very fond and well evening, asks if you might need anything, and then bids you on your way. You soon find yourselves in your small wing of the manor home itself, outside the door of Mr. Salo.
JJ will knock.
You knock, doom, 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 rap on the door. You hear, yes, hello. Who might who might be out there?
It's all of us.
Oh,
Mind if we come in?
um,
All 6 of us.
sure. Then you hear like various locks on the door being undone, and then you see your small gnomish friend, all of his gear and equipment sitting in the middle of his room, all packed up, ready to leave at a moment's notice. The room is immaculately cleaned, and overall he seems to be like ready to go. He goes, so we're leaving in the middle of the night, yes?
Maybe.
Maybe. We just wanted a safe place to discuss some stuff.
A safe place in this area. Yes, well, I do suppose there is a place here to discuss such things. Please, tell me what it is we mean to discuss. He kind of does this, and you see him reach up to the pin on his shirt and begins to spin this kind of humming pinwheel. The world around you squeaks, and you hear this sound before slowly white noise sets in, but sets you on all sides. He looks you all over very seriously. He goes, so, when are we leaving?
I think that's the matter of discussion right now.
Very good. I personally think we should leave out of the southern gate, make our way far to the south. We can book transit in Orin, all the way far from here. I'm thinking western somewhere?
Something happened to you that you want to leave so soon?
I've wanted to leave since we've arrived.
Oh.
My goal was never to stay here in Wren's Fork. It is instead to, be possessed of a method of travel far to the south. I have business to attend to and interested people to do so, but the presence of your company and, of course, the security that you provide seem to be, well, quite befitting what I needed for my end goals, to say the least.
I think our problem, Mr. Sallow, is that our work takes us directly west. That's the main problem there. I think we're all a bit stuck with some information we learned.
Well, the glorious thing about information is that you can choose to do with it as you please. I personally am possessed of quite a number of informative things that I choose, well, to determine is not my problem. You can't save everyone, kid. And this place, you definitely can't save it. Unless you are, well, how many more of those red guys do you have? He points to Colt. He goes, you said you were a soldier, Mr. Honeycutt. How's your platoon? Troop? Army?
I think most, if not all of them, are dead.
Oh. So you're not going to use his method to ransack the town and pillage it. Past that, I see you as 6 individuals possessed of quite an amount of skill, but at a certain point, you're going to lose the numbers game. Now, they've been nothing but accommodating, and from what I can tell, they just want to be left alone. I'm not sure what you discovered, but if their dealings and brokerings of deals with that Baron, that strange occurrences that I was overhearing, are to be believed, I want nothing to do with it at this point. More so if they've gone through lengths to make you all believe it was something on the level.
That's fair.
Not to be crass, but, well, as the moon rises, this is still a humanic town. I don't know what to think. And I don't think any of us do either.
I think he's absolutely right. I think if we were to try to do anything, we're going to be completely outnumbered here. And not only that, we'd not just have Wren's Fork against us, we'd have Silverhearth against us, we'd have anyone that they come in, that they can contact, whoever is in agreement with them, they can make us look however we want, and we'd be on the run. There's, as much as I would love to save the Baron or help him out, I don't think it's in our best interest right now for our own safety. I honestly don't believe we can do anything about this, but go about our way and do what we have to do. Complete our mission, because really, if we try anything, as much as I would love to, we're going to die, or we're just going to constantly be on the run.
I think you're right.
Hard things.
Not if we were successful.
Well,
we alleviate the Baron of everyone who's manipulating him.
But who knows how deep that runs? We don't know if that's connected to Silverhearth in some way, or just Ravon in general. We could be running from this entire region, and we're deep in the middle of it. We would have to be running for quite a while. I mean, sure, there are magical means to get us back, but who knows what the repercussions of us doing that are. We don't know, again, how deep this runs, and we don't know what they'll make us look to be when we're gone. Even if we head back home, they might make us look like we're criminal rapists or something. They'll make us look like the worst people, and we don't need that, because Galanti might drop us, and then we'll have no home. And that's not a risk I'm willing to take right now, to be honest.
Then which path do we walk? They obviously don't want us going through the steam fields.
The thing is, I think if we went to the steam fields, at the very least we have some form of evidence to back up whatever we are trying to prove, if we decide to go there. rather than being in the middle of the town. And I'm just saying about saving the Baron.
I'm not even talking about that now. I'm talking about our actual end goal.
Yeah.
This
We
is
have
all
to
a
get
terrible
out.
distraction on the way.
Yeah.
Well, we could go to the steam fields, but I think we can assume some things at this point. We could go through the mountains, see if there's a boat that'll take us for whatever reason, or we could go back north and back around.
Are we going to have to bring the horses with us now?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Don't think we'll be... If we're not trying to quote-unquote fix anything, I don't think we'll be wanting to return here anytime soon.
Or ever.
Or ever. Which means I think we take the horses, we take the cart, we risk the environmental dangers. As tempting as it would be to go to Orin and head off west towards home, that's just not... I can't just give up.
I think there is something to be said in the grand scheme of things that you might consider it to be a tactical retreat. In this situation, if you're not prepared to fight with everything that you've got, I am not quite sure that you'll find anything to be that welcoming. More so if you're going exactly where they don't want you to go.
That's the thing. I am actually willing to fight with everything I've got, but my team isn't right now. I would
I'm not going to
tear
fight.
through this mansion.
That's
and
what I'm
show them
talking
all
about.
what we're capable of, but if we're all not in the spirit of it, it's not going to be remotely successful, because it will be very difficult.
Well, if you're going to make a last stand, I suppose in the effort of friendship I could maybe help slightly. Not directly, but maybe bid you in good spirits, so to say.
I already don't think that's happening. Heard too many. I just don't think our spirit's in it enough to risk so much for this place.
I think
I look
that
across the others to see.
I think that it would also help aid our decision to inform Galanti about everything that's going on. So at the very least, if we decide to go to the steam fields, she's got our back. She knows that what we're getting ourselves into is very, very deep. Or maybe she'll recommend we just don't go. I mean, she is our employer. At the very least, she should know what's going on. We should try to get in contact with her.
She keeps you on a very short leash, huh?
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's just she's the one that pays us. I mean, and at the same time, she has been good to all of us. I think that she would know what was best, and at the very least, if there is help to be given by her, if we get ourselves in a situation, we've got a little bit of backup rather than trying to. Again, if we decide to go to this through the steam fields, instead of just going on our own, and then have them make up whatever story they want about what we've done down here. If they decide to do that, spread rumors about us.
It's a rather curious thing with that, Mr. Honeycutt, if you'd allow me to be so bold. I have heard many legends, rumors, lores, and tales. Many long, long, long forgotten things. And I'll tell you this, all of the ones that I care to repeat to others never start with, well, we weren't paid for it. I had always thought Weaver's Chosen, as much as you are boasted about in the Humanic Kingdoms, were heroes, first and foremost. But to worry about where your coin is being stuffed seems to be rather against the spirit of the things, but maybe I don't quite understand what it means to be a Weaver's Chosen. It's rather peculiar when presented with such a opportunity.
I
Just fun.
apologize. I may have misspoken. The coin has never been important to me. I mean, I'm a soldier. I've gotten paid dirt to
Oh.
die.
What
I
he's
mean,
afraid of is random tieflings defaming his name for some reason. The city of Silverheart literally looks down upon
Okay,
this place,
so
and you're worried you think that the rumors that spread from here are going to sully our names?
it's not about sullying our names. It's about creating false rumors that are going to create.
No one trusts the word
problems.
from Ren's Fork, Colt.
It's okay.
Here's the thing, Mr. Sallow, does your pinwheel doohickey, will it block if I try and send a message to anyone in particular far off?
At current, every sound you make does not leave this room, and no sounds from outside can enter in. It's as quiet as can be. And I don't mean to insult you, Mr. Honeycutt, at all. I more mean to say that I'm always rather curious to hear when individuals are worried about the employers that they serve instead of their own right. I have always believed that all evil needs to survive is for good people to do nothing.
Hear, hear.
I could send a message out, step out and send a message out to the Herald. Or Galanti. She could probably get a message over to him as well. But I could explain the situation as best I could and see what either the Herald or Galanti says. That would probably be our quickest way to figure out if anyone else is hung up, because I am slightly torn, but at the same time, this does not feel right, and this is... I feel for our new friend.
Do any of y'all know how long the Baron has been Baron around these parts?
History check?
Sure, go ahead.
I wasn't sure if we'd know that from the previous checks we made.
Well, you know of him, but it's more like trying to like put. You can roll history or insight, your choice.
I'll roll 2.
Both of valid.
Yeah, I feel like I might know.
All right, what'd you get, Vel?
Oh, you only got a 6? I got a 26.
Oh, there you go. There you go. OTK'd the check. You think it over. Baron de Cruz is still in his like late 30s, early 40s, somewhere there, just as a human's life. You know they probably wouldn't trust a barony to any respectable barony to anyone, like, you know, in their teens. So at very least, he's only probably been a baron for, you know, the tail end of his current years. Yeah, probably not that long at all. You know, over dinner he spoke about his father being a baronet and being gifted the kind of title of nobility throughout his actions in the last war. Having kind of put a timetable together of human life, you know that was most likely a war against some like small pockets of giantkin that likely existed still within the course of Irvan. So even while it's not like the big war, it was definitely a war. And hearing all that and hearing de Cruz pulling himself up by his bootstraps, so he tells it, he's probably not been baron more than maybe a decade at best. And again, with a 26 especially, the circumstances surrounding his ascension from baronet to barony are suspect at best.
I mean, I hate to say it, but 10 good years is definitely something to be said for the man. I don't particularly feel for him, even if he might have gotten himself into this.
It's not so much my feelings for the Baron that make me wish to play a part in this, but one part of what Mr. Sallow did hint at is it not in our profession to help those that are in need, and this city is indeed, this hamlet is indeed in need. And more so, just on the same utterance and the captains the same as other creatures that we have come across who serve those who we know to have ill and foul intentions. That's something we would be allowing to spread here, whether it be in the land of humans or anyone else's. Still, are we willing to walk away from that right now?
I agree with Val.
So we stay and we make it right here.
I mean, we may have to fight them down the line anyway, so...
Would I thought that if everyone was in favor of it, I would have attempted to begin in the study, honestly. I hate that right now we don't have eyes on the Baron.
Same.
I should have held person on that bastard.
Can I do... Ooh.
Can you do?
Never mind. I changed my mind.
You can do essay. Do essay.
Do essay.
Do
Do
essay.
essay. I don't have do essay now.
Oh, darn.
I didn't want
gotta break
another
that
full
tension.
sugar drink.
Fair.
Plus, Colt, if you're worried about rumors and people saying shit about us, what do you think the folks up in Silverhearth are going to say if we just let this happen?
It's not about the implication. It's not about the rumors. It's about the implications that it may create in other cities. If we're considered murderers or kidnappers, then we could be arrested in other cities.
Why are we?
If
Would
they're
you?
murder-
I will.
we
I
are
can
considered
talk
something-
to
Just don't
the
leave it in
Herald.
written, Colt. It's fine.
If we rescue the Baron from this whole situation, at what point is anyone putting these words out? I don't understand where your concerns are coming from.
I believe his concerns are if you fail. If you let someone live and you don't get this Baron as you so hope, then yes, it would be the word of whatever they control versus you. I'll tell everyone that you're great and honorable people, but I'm just Mr. Sallow.
And once more, I state that it would be our word versus the words of those of this city who are as looked down upon as us. So why would it be so powerfully believed?
Because most likely it won't be your words versus theirs. It'll be your words versus your Baron friend.
That's
what I meant by that.
That's
that
a
they were so
very-
controlling him.
And what happens if the Baron
They don't
dies
trust
in our
him
pursuit?
still. There's all this suspect of his character.
And what
So-
happens? My concern is also what happens if he dies in the pursuit. We don't have his support. We don't have anything. We're running out of a country.
We're
Out
not
of a
running out of a
region.
country. We still have to go to Kent's Plummet and handle shit there. We are on one part of this, and we are deciding if we're going to get involved in this side of it as opposed to the next thing we still have to do after this.
Here's my concern. Okay. We don't know how deep this runs, right? We don't know anything about these people, right? We don't know anything about the dealings that they've made, right? Confirm that for me.
Correct.
yes.
So we don't know if they are working with any of the other cities in this region, correct?
They are literally in the prospect right now of trying to create legal means for them to have their own city. They don't have influence anywhere else. This is where they're doing it. That's what we're standing on right now.
Okay. So, let's say, for example, right? We get away with the Baron. One person survives. Someone survives to tell the tale. Tell Silverhearth, Cyrex, Orin that we've kidnapped the Baron. Right? Then we've got people coming after us. Right? Because no city's going to stand by, or no countryside, no region that's led by a king is going to allow for one of their barons to be kidnapped.
Okay, they don't even have the men to send after us right now. They're waging a war in Kind's Plummet. And we would be able to, if we are able to take him away from here, we would literally be following what he wanted to do. We would be able to get to Cyrex with him, likely have him safe there.
You want to go with us awful badly.
It's a bit of a fun thing to think about, isn't it? They don't have the people, yet here you are. What's to stop them, I suppose? From sending other chosen after you. A curious game you do play, and I will say it will make for a grand story should you embark upon it. I'd be happy to tell it to someone else, or sell it. But it is a game and a wager that you're trying to play here, and should you fail, the consequences will be dire. But should you succeed, you might have saved a whole city. Well, village, I suppose.
Also, if we save the village, we don't have to kidnap the Baron.
As much as I hate to waste JJ's magic, Colt, would you feel better if we inquired with either of our employers as what we should do if we are to not be willing to take our own fates into our hands?
It's not necessarily about taking our fates into our own hands. The other problem I have is we're in the middle of a potential hornet's nest. You don't wage a war unless you are escaping for your life in the middle of a hornet's nest. I think it is more strategically sound to wage a war outside of their establishment. But then again, I mean, I'm with you guys with whatever you do. I got your backs no matter what. I'll die for you, whatever you need. I just don't think that this is very smart, to be honest. The way I'm looking at it, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, but everything I see in it, I don't agree with it.
Well,
I think that we should regroup. We should get away from here and regroup and reconsider what we're going to do here, because being in the middle of it, we're making rash decisions based on emotion rather than making strategic decisions to
Here's
do
the
something.
only point I'll make against that, and absolutely yes. Well, being in the middle of the hive is the worst position, but at the same time, we're right next to the queen.
Where you
The
would be
figure
fighting
that we
to get
need to help is still within, hopefully, arm's reach. Who knows where they've taken him to now? It's been a while, so... But then are you suggesting we leave and come back making an assault? Or are we just leaving and moving on towards Kind's Plummet?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying that it's not a very intelligent decision. It's not a very well thought out decision. Again, I will follow you and I will follow you guys, and I will redact my vote from this because I don't know. I've shared my concerns about it. I know that that's not fair to redact your vote regarding it, but I'm making you more aware of the situation rather than
Colt,
telling you guys we shouldn't do this, and this is
I
why.
understand
I'm
your
giving
concerns,
suggestions of
and what I want to know is if we follow your suggestion, your path, where does that lead us? Are we simply letting this lie to whatever this may become and moving on? What's the end goal if we walk away from this now?
If we leave, I'm telling both the Herald and Galanti.
Actually, I would tell the Herald and I would tell the Inquisitor.
I would, yeah. That's probably our best bet.
And yet at the same time, the word of us just being whistleblowers and not heroes will be well spoken.
Maybe the Inquisitor can help a little more, too. He is a human after all.
If we're here now, we won't have to fight our way back in. I think that's my big concern, is that if we leave now, we might not be able to get back in.
We could always come back under the guise of not wanting to fight right away. We don't have to be overtly aggressive if we come back.
I mean, I think they've made us pretty unwelcome at this point.
Guys, on our way back, aren't we supposed to be coming with the King of Silver or the Prince of Silverhearth?
We don't know what condition he's going to be in from whatever is currently happening on his assault and Kind's Plummet.
Correct. We don't know that, but assuming that anybody's left after that, they should be some pretty primo folks when it comes to swinging a sword and more or less leveling off a village if that's the direction.
Depending upon their condition after whatever has happened there. If we're escorting injured and survivors from whatever they've been through, at that point we don't want to be bringing them back to Wren's Fork. We would want them singing our praises and the truths of what we speak.
That much is true.
Sounds as if you have much to consider. Have you been offered other solutions to this problem?
Not yet.
Well,
the solution I got was to start a house fire.
Well, there'd be a lot to burn. But in the same sense of your analogy of being in the wasp's nest, after all, if the wasps are not human, you would fit in quite well. Would be interested if maybe this is something you want to get involved with, but from a different angle. The Baron is, as you've said multiple times, a human. This whole village are humans indeed. History of heroics are written by the victors, my friends, and if victory is a path of diplomacy, or a side you may not find yourself on the sword of, perhaps that is another way to look at it. Regardless, from your dancing, of your wordplay, I personally, after this conversation, will be disappearing in the middle of the night. Should you wish to join me, I will happily share the road with you, my friends, but I'm growing more nervous by the moment of this debate.
Oh, I do completely agree with you. There are really two options at this point, which is either stay or go, and go happens as soon as we decide not to stay.
If only all things were so cut and dry.
And while I have no inherent love for humanity, the individuals that we see ourselves facing, I wouldn't rather be in bed with them than rather with these humans. They don't much care for either side.
Well said. Well then. Might you require any other things from me, or might I be good to go? I'm getting trifling nervous by this conversation.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Sallow.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sallow. We appreciate it.
Why don't we gather our things, go outside, make a few calls, decide if we're going to walk back in or not. Does that sound acceptable to everyone?
That's fine.
Colt?
I can set us up a house for the night.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
Alright,
can agree to that.
let's go get Morgan, get all of our belongings, get our horses and cart.
Do you want to give a heads up to the guide? Or should we just go if we're gonna go?
We could try and go to the city and get him. See if he'd be willing to leave early. I don't think we really want to be waiting around till morning for him.
Mm-mm.
But
Wrapping someone very innocent up into this mess also is a concern, depending on what we decide to do.
yes. We can decide that after we know the opinions of whoever we send to.
Yep. Alright.
Let's go get our things ready. Let's stay in groups of 2, at least, if not entire groups together. Why don't you grab your things and walk with us, Mr. Sallow?
Very good then. I personally think that in this instance, distance will make the heart grow fonder.
Well, if you choose to walk forward or wait on the road for us, we'd be happy to see you. But I understand if you wish to make better speed.
I will, in consideration, should you find yourselves along the southern road, I'll wait by the first bend of the river. But I will not stay there longer than first light. So, come the morning, I will be quite gone from there.
Sounds like a plan, sir.
Thank you. Well then, if that is all, I do thank you, my friends, for all that you might have done, and should this be the last time that we are speaking, I will say truthfully it has been an honor to have known you and met you. Your handlings of things on the road were, well, exemplary for those who call themselves weavers. Chosen, that might be. Very good.
He places his hand on his pinwheel. You hear the small spinning come back. You can hear these shuffling of feet and knocking of things in the hallway. It sounds as if people are outside. Sound returns to the world once more. Mr. Sallow kind of gives a nod to you all, and in a flash, he disappears, vanishes from sight. You see the door open. No one opening it. No one seeming to be standing there, but the handle twisting in a certain way. And you hear soft footsteps exit from the room before the door closes behind it.
That's how I might walk out of here.
Yeah, JJ will go 2 by 2 and basically stay by Belle.
Okay.
In a group with whoever.
All right.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor before we leave this room.
Okay. Mark off your spell. Anything else you guys want to do before exiting Mr. Gringle-Sallow's room?
I am going to... Yeah, I'm gonna load a red shell.
Okay, you load a red shell into the large kind of piping of your sidearm. You all exit in 2 by 2.
I'm gonna put my sidearm away. I'm not gonna have like hold it open. Like, hey, what's up?
The whole time, just inching your finger away from the trigger. Try me, punk.
Nobody mess with me. I'm really unsure about everything.
I'm really confused and afraid. I'm naked and alone. All right, so you exit the room. Standing in the hallway, you see 3 of the staff, 3 butlers, all well dressed, tiefling men that kind of greet you with warm smiles. One of them speaks forward and goes, "Good evening, lords and ladies. We've made a number of arrangements at the behest of the Baron that you are to be well taken care of, while still within the sanctity of here. Will you be staying this evening, or shall we have your rooms prepared for another guest should they arrive? We would happily show you proper courtesy or the door, should you desire it."
We'll be gathering up our things and taking our horses and carriage. The wanderlust is upon us to get back on the road.
Ah, yes, the hillside does call for those. Certainly, we will have that prepared for you, good lady Velithil Dowenvey. And we will look forward to all of you, the Seekers of Galanti, giving your fond farewells to Wren's Fork. We do understand you have a number of things to attend to, as we all do. You see the two of the butlers kind of give a small nod and head off, seemingly to go make mention of your decision to leave, and of course prepare your horses and carriage. The butler that stands there in the hallway kind of like looks you all over and just smiles, goes, "Please do let me know if there's anything that I might do to better make your acquaintances, or your egress from this place more smooth."
Well, I thank you. We just need to gather our things. The hospitality has been so kind.
Very good. Be sure to leave your room keys in the rooms of their appropriate fixtures, and we'll clean up behind you. Thank you so much for entertaining our Baron. He truly treasured the moments you spent together.
Is he around?
I believe he's retired for the evening.
Oh, that's too bad.
The head of staff has said that he is rather tired. You seem to take a lot out of him.
Just was hoping we could say our goodbyes.
I will, of course, inform him of such when he stirs in the morning. Or if you'd prefer, you could stay the evening. Maybe you'll meet him over breakfast again.
I think we'll be going.
Well then, I bid you fond farewells. And he turns and kind of just stands proper up against the back wall and watches you guys as you head to your rooms, collect up your things. Do you guys leave the keys?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll leave.
Orville would like to try and parkour and then stick the key anywhere into the ceiling. Because fuck them.
That's why. Yeah, you're trained in acrobatics?
I believe so.
Yeah, you're not in a
I will
rush.
concur.
Yeah, if you're trained.
I am not.
Oh, you're not? Then give me an acrobatics check.
That's a 7.
That's a 7. You look it over, you think it over, you're like, all right, I got an idea. And you pull some of the drawers of the dresser out like halfway through, and you're like, full staircase, I'll just jump up these, stab it in like a jump man. I got this. And you go and you step on the first one, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Second one, light as a feather, stiff as a, oh God! You hear a loud, cacophonous, thunderous boom erupt out of Orville's room as the dresser collapses onto its side, crushing and pinning Orville underneath it. Orville, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh goodness, that's a 7.
That's not a good one. Orville, you managed to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage. As this dresser
All right.
collapses on top of you, you hear a big crunching sound. You think you've twisted your ankle in certain places. With a groan, your friends standing. Who is Orville's? We'll say it's Morgan, because nobody said it was there. Morgan just stands in the doorway, dumbfounded, holding Chunkini, and goes, "Yo, are you serious? Why would you do that?"
The dresser fell over.
Yeah, because you climbed all over it like a monkey.
Well,
person.
I'm short. You don't have that problem anymore.
Well, no, I guess I don't. Are you okay?
I'll be all right.
All right. She kind of just stares at you in the doorway as you slowly push the dresser over and crawl out from underneath it. You look and your legs all busted up. It looks as if the drawer, when it was breaking, kind of caused it to slide back in and pincer the upper part of your shin. It's a miracle it wasn't shattered and broken into pieces. You climb out.
I'm getting a hand of healing that once, and then be on my way.
Go right ahead. You do some chiropractic with your hand of healing. A little snapping of the muscle groupings back into place. And you wiggle your foot and toes and walk back out into the room. For all of you who kind of peer in to see what all the commotion is about, Morgan just groans and goes, he tried to jump on his dresser. It's Orville, guys. I don't know.
Destroying the room won't do anything. They're going to be able to fix it right up.
Thank you, Val.
Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. I just, side effect of being short, I guess.
Morgan looks, and as you exit the room, she looks around the room. Shockingly, the key does end up in one of the window banisters. So not quite the ceiling, but it seems to have flown from your fingertips and landed among the curtains. She's like, well,
We'll take it.
We'll find it. But you all exit to the hallway, having collected all of your things. Some of you more worse for wear than others. Anything you want to do before heading for the front doors?
No.
No. All right. You make your way through the manor, flanked by a member of the staff who kind of watches you from a good distance away, making sure there are no wrong turns or things of that nature. You all arrive out near the stables. Your horses, all 4, have been prepared. They have been groomed. They've been cleaned. The saddles are immaculately well polished and oiled. The leather has been treated quite well. And your wagon, as covered and everything as it is, has been fully repaired, everything replaced, and nothing obtuse about it, and no damage still showing. They've even applied a new coat of paint to ensure that everything looks as almost the day you bought it, maybe even better than the day you bought it. You see, and there are 4 members of staff at the stable hands, and they go, "We're sorry to see you go. Truly, We hope the road is as kind to you as what you found here at the manor."
I sure do hope as well.
Well then, be well, and may the road rise to meet you.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
And we appreciate your time and company. Do come back sometime. We'd welcome you with open arms, I'm sure.
Yep. Anyway, hey mayonnaise, hey mustard. Go girls.
Horses greet you fondly. But you
Missed
all,
you.
you collect up your horses, your wagon, you sit stride atop them. Vel, Morgan looks to you, goes, I'm gonna take my horse back if that's okay.
Have right at it. May
Oh.
hot dogs serve you well.
All right. And she goes and climbs back into the saddle of her horse. And you hear a loud kind of, she's like, oh shit. And she climbs back down off a hot dog, hefts Chunkini onto the saddle, and then climbs back on saddle, sitting with Chunkini like right between her and the front of the saddle itself. Chunkini laying kind of pressed up against it, and she starts kind of leading the horse. Morgan looks to you all and she goes, Are we leaving?
Yep.
One by one, you all climb aboard the wagon, or JJ, adorned on top of Sesame, and you all leave the area of the manor home. You soon find yourself on the road between the manor and Wren's Fork itself. You watch and you can see almost a small sending off party. You look and you can see as you round the front of the area and begin making your way through that road, a crew of roughly about 10 or so butlers and maids all stand at the very front of the building. The Baron himself standing among them, and everyone waves with a smile at your leaving and departure. You all find yourselves on the road. What do you want to do?
We just ran away from butlers and maids.
I think they might be more than butlers and maids.
It doesn't make me feel any more pathetic. I start casting Detect Magic, and I'm going to inspect the wagon.
Sure. Let's see here. What plea will it tells you? You sense the presence of magic around you within 30 feet of you. Faint aura. Alright, yeah. It requires 3 feet of wood. So, you cast Detect Magic, and you look around the area. You feel, you're not quite sure where it's emanating from, but you feel a sense of magical aura around there, around the cart. As you focus on it, there seems to be a faint aura of divination that is imbued upon the cart. If you'd like to roll investigation, you can try to locate the source.
$21.
21. You look around the wagon, you look down through the floor, and you note betwixt the floorboards, there seems to be the aura of magic emanating through the bottom of the wagon. Whatever it is that is exuding this magical force seems to be on the underside of the wagon itself and has been adhered to the wood itself.
Right. Just wait until we reach where we're going to stop.
All right. Where are you all heading?
I guess towards the. Is everyone in agreement? We're just going through the steam fields, or what are we doing?
We're supposed to meet Lethiel at the southern gate at just before first light, I believe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let's go meet him. Is everyone okay with that and opposition to that?
That was the plan that we discussed and nothing else. We didn't discuss anything else.
Okay.
Me-
That's a weird way to say that, but all right.
Meanwhile, at the underground broadcasting center, I think they're onto us. You hear in the background, "They're onto you, you pieces of shit." Shut up. From a discreet location somewhere in the barony. So yeah, you all make way to Wren's Fork. You pass through a very quiet town, almost shockingly so. From the previous nights you've stayed here, there's always been a good collection of local nightlife, but this evening it just seems odd. There seems to be a calmness about the city and uneasiness still in the air that seems as if something is not quite right as you move through the middle of town. However, on doing so and spending roughly an hour and a half moving very, very precariously through the city and making sure you cross the main open areas as to not have any ill fortune on the road, you arrive at the southern gate and you see sat there in a small makeshift tent, seems to be a tanned-skinned wood elven man, missing a upper portion of his ear. And he kind of looks over in your direction with a bit of a yawn and a smile and goes, "Well, now you're all a bit early."
We need to go.
Oh, of course. Well, you've paid up for it. Just a moment. I'll get to my tent. He goes through and starts kind of packing up his tent, his setup, and before long, kind of holds it and hefts it over his shoulder. He looks to you all and he goes, Are you all quite intending to take the horses with you? The steam fields are dreadfully treacherous, more so for wildlife than anything else."
We don't really have many other options.
Oh, very good then. Well, you're the ones hiring me, so I do suppose you're the authority on that matter. Good to see you, Miss Downvey. Of course then. Right this way. I'll lead as best I'm able. And he kind of turns with a smile on his heels and starts kind of like walking forward with taking long, kind of striding steps across the boundary of the southern gate, moving with a walk about as fast as a trotting horse.
JJ's gonna cast a message to him real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Could you just lead us to the first bend in the river south?
He kind of perks up and looks around, and you see his head kind of tilt into his chest, and he mutters back. He goes, "The first bend of the river, it'd be a bit out of the way if we're going quicker, but you're paying, so of course."
Great.
He kind of smiles and acts completely natural, seemingly unaware of the situation at hand. Before long, you all spend a good time. You pick up speed throughout the exit of the southern gate. You see lights in the distance begin to illuminate from the city of Wren's Fork, the small village, as if it slowly becomes awakened at the middle of the night upon your departure. And before long, you all find yourselves at the first bend outside of Wren's Fork. The river crushes against the boundary of the river itself. You can see sat there on a small stone, a rather familiar-looking gnomish individual who smiles fondly at you at your approach. He goes, "Oh, well, so we're headed to Orin then, huh?" You see Lethiel turn and look to you all and goes, I do apologize. I'm not quite sure where we are meant to go through the steam fields. Is that right?
He's headed along with us, at least until the bend.
All right. Well, of course then. The more the merrier, I say. Sir, I would recommend if you are not able to keep up that you ride along in their wagon. It might be more comfortable for you. And you see Salo kind of stand up and dust himself off and go, "I suppose."
Want to go check the bottom of the wagon?
You look and peer to the bottom of the wagon, and what you see is a heavy-set-looking stone that has been affixed with some type of solvent or like a glue, almost a sovereign glue, that is adorned in like a beeswax cone, and it has been stuck to the bottom of your wagon. You look and you can see the stone itself is coated in strange glyphs and runes. If you would like, you can roll Arcana on it.
12?
12. You look it over, you definitely know it to be of the divination school, which helps to narrow down the check. Even with a 12, because of this fact, you do manage to identify it as a source that one might be able to use to cast clairvoyance over a great distance.
Everything all right over there, Vel? Yes, ma'am.
Just a little knot in the wood down here. Probably should work it out. Might be stuck.
Would you mind if I assisted?
I would welcome it greatly.
Oh, very good.
You see Mr. Salo kind of look and peer underneath and go, oh, that's fun. He pulls from his bag, from his front pocket, what looks like a small piece of wood that he then begins to pull out of his pocket like a rabbit out of a hat, and makes this very long, crooked-looking wand. And he reaches forward underneath the cart, and you see it touch it, and a small zap of red sparks erupt out from the tip of the wand. And he pulls it back, and you hear a thud. And you can see the small bit of amber in the stone hit the ground beneath your wagon. Goes, oh, goodness, it looks as if the repairs are not what they were up to in quality. He slides it back into his pocket. And again, this pocket is about yay big, and the wand is about yay big, and it just, like a rabbit in a hat.
Easy for even the best of them to miss a little something.
What do you mean they missed something? Is it going to hurt the horses?
No, you're fine, Colt.
Yeah.
You're good.
By the way, what's his name? What's the elf's name?
Lethiel.
Lethiel. Hey, Lethiel.
Yes, my sir.
There wouldn't happen to be like some place before the steam fields that just horses are abundant or frequent or in the area, replacement horses, because I want to set my horses, which I love, free, but I don't want our cart to not have horses.
So wait, you want to release horses but then enslave other horses?
I really like my horses. I don't want them to die in the steam fields.
Well, then don't take them to the steam fields, my sir.
What if you get attached to the next two horses because you got attached in a matter of 5 minutes?
Do you also think that a couple of wild horses are going to obey you to pull the cart, not only through a kind meadow, but through the steam fields?
I will
Excuse me,
say,
fellas.
I do have some experience with the wild stallions. I could possibly see them taking us through the rocky passes.
We could go through. There's a rocky pass?
Yes, it's actually where I would prefer to escort you. It's not quite through the steam fields themselves per se, but there is a small tradesman's path through the mountains of the Middle Hearth. It's a bit more precarious, but if we're not taking horses or the wagon, we might be able to make it, and you all are made of tougher stuff, of course.
That could be an option now. Now, the captains and everyone else, would you like me to notify the Herald or Galante or the Inquisitor?
I would suggest the Herald first. See what he says.
I'd also lean towards that fella. He's got some sort of magic hoobity-hoo-ah around him, and I feel like if anything, he'd have the easiest time sending word along to Lady Galante.
Okay. I only have so many words, so let me practice with y'all real quick. She's gonna like use her fingers to count out.
Hold on a second. We'll put them up. I got 10 here. You get what, 25?
2.
This is a seeker of Gulanti Rensfork undertaken by Baron's staff. They are possibly also counterfeiters. Please advise. Also sending to whoever else I'm sending to.
As you practice this out, you hear Mr. Sallow go, that's a heck of a way to say that. You look around. Who is trained in perception? You are? Go ahead and roll perception, Bill.
Oh, I'm also trained.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Yeah.
8.
8, okay. Cool.
11.
11, all right. Yeah, you managed to practice it. As you kind of go through, you see Lethiel kind of like walk around the side of the wagon, like hearing this, and just goes, now what is, are we in danger, or maybe, that sounds rather serious, an accusation to throw at the Baron?
It's not on fault of the Baron.
Oh, okay, yeah, that seems bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. We literally just ran away from maids and butlers. We're Weaver's chosen. We're very brave.
I think
Okay.
something else is going on. Look. Triana, there's something
Triana
about her.
and Samson.
Both of them.
Yes.
Right.
He also called Samson sir.
Almost called him master.
I know.
Yes. The
So, how do we like that wording? Do I need to change anything? Should I leave out the counterfeiter thing? I don't know. If
I
the
would leave out the counterfeit thing and more go over the manipulation and control that his staff and have exuded over him. But yes, Lethiel, you've always been a bit of a wanderer. You might want to consider not going back to Ren's Fork after we're done with all of this.
Of course. It would. This is a lot to take in.
That's my apologies.
Might you I hate to ask anything from my hires here, but what exactly is happening in Ren's Fork?
Well, as much as we can tell, the staff and various individuals who would appear to be serving the Baron have been manipulating and controlling him for some time, most likely, and they seem to be currently either in the effort of taking over the city or establishing a new city for whomever they serve as their true masters, they called it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds delightfully evil.
Yes, I know, and we walked away from it. We're very brave, like I said.
Good for you. I don't think you should probably ever go back then, and I think that's reason enough for me to not go back. I'll have to find a real estate agent to sell my house. Great. Well, well, while the road rises to meet us, are we good to continue?
I just have a couple of brain calls to make real quick.
Oh, well, I mean, I feel like now it'd be best to get as far away as possible. It might not be worth the time to do it.
I mean, I could do it while sitting on the horse, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Depending upon the message we received back, I may advise the foolish action of us going back in there.
I think I need some sleep first, but...
Well, that sucks.
Did they harm you all, or?
It's been a longer day. I mean, we really haven't done that much, to be fair. We did a lot of loafing.
She's worn thin on arcane power.
Well,
are you talking about this? And Orville will point to his leg. He's like, no, that one's self-inflicted.
It's all swollen and bruised up.
That one's all me.
Yeah, Lethiel like scratches the top of his head again and like kind of like lightly touches the missing part of his ear. He goes, if you're not feeling your best to take action, maybe save your whatever it is you're gonna do until you're feeling better. Not for nothing, but I didn't exactly sign up for a fight with staff.
No, if we wouldn't ask you to go back in with us if we were to. That's not what we hired you for. I would not put that upon you.
Well, yeah, it's true, but I have to put an air of professionalism on myself in that regard. You did pay handsomely for my services of guiding, so at the very least, I did offer to answer any questions or make sure you got to your destination safely, and it wouldn't be in good conscience if I didn't at least advise your own health a bit in that regard.
I do appreciate that.
How, if you will answer any questions, how long has the Baron had his staff, or do you not know?
Oh, I've never been part of the staff or the hirings or goings on of that manor home. I mostly handle exploratory hunting and guiding services in town for merchants that come by.
Well, I guess, when did the tiefling show up?
Oh goodness, Wren's Forks had tieflings for quite a while. I think they all came from overseas, seeking fortunes and a new land and a new world of opportunity. I think is how they told it at the tavern a few nights.
Okay.
I'm
just trying to see where or what. We're trying to figure out what the Baron got himself into.
Probably
all right.
something very involved. I wouldn't think too much about it. It definitely, let's put it behind us.
Do y'all want me to send a message or not? Either we send it or we go.
Yes, they need to at least, even if we're not taking action, the information needs to be in the hands of...
So the Herald and who else? Who's the second one? I got two.
Start with the Herald and then see what he says, and we'll know who to send to next.
Okay, so oh, go ahead.
I think it's the Inquisitor, but let's see what the Herald says.
Alright, she will cast sending.
Okay, you cast sending.
Harold Lemire.
You speak and you can hear reverberation around you. A boost of arcane and magical energy releases from you. Your speech seems to carry a loud kind of presentory voice, and you can sense different types of notes of magic getting ready to send your voice trailing across the countryside and to this individual of choice.
This is a Seeker of Gulanti, Wren's Fork, undertaken by Baron.
When you say that, does a 24 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. The moment you say Wren's Fork under, you all watch in a flash as Lethiel holds his rapier out and stabs through the front of JJ's chest. He goes, I really didn't want you to send a message. So maybe this will teach you. You take 24 points of piercing damage. And next week, we will pick up from this fight with Lethiel. Thank you guys for joining us for Second Wake. I hope you had a good one. Let's find, as we always like to say, always be raiding. We got our friends from Winnipeg.
I was worried about this too.
So let's raid our friends from Winnipeg. They got good fishing up there in Winnipeg. They don't speak a lick of English, but gods, I love them. All right, guys. So certainly get your goblin raids together. We'll hopefully not kill their stream. That seems to be a thing we end up doing to them quite often. So I always feel bad for them. But at least we're sending people their way. Super cool. They got some fun stuff up there in Quebec. Their team Quebec. Good fishing up there. But yeah, next Monday, let's figure out what happens together. I don't even know, guys. I just thought, Who knows? Who knows anything about that city? Super fun. Anyway, see you next week, guys. Same D&D time, same D&D place. Peace out.